Welcome to this lecture. In this lecture, we will see how this transform tool in Lightroom works. Yeah, so let's get into it. We see that in the bottom of this section, we have a warning or suggestion. It says, for best results, enable lens correction in the lens corrections panel before applying upright. So let's do just that. Lens corrections, remove chromatic aberration, check. Enable profile correction, check. But remember that I said that for some photos, Lightroom will not recognize the lens profile automatically. In this case, when we enable or disable this option, nothing happens in the photo because Lightroom has not recognized the lens profile for this picture. And as we learned, we can add that manually, but if we don't know the exact model or the exact camera, the exact company, which camera was it, we will not get satisfactory results. That's why we will be going to manual section and do that manually. From the distortion slider, we see that it's a little bit like this, like fish-eyed, and to solve that, we will add +2 and take this constraint crop to remove the white spots in the corners that are created. So we have done that, and let's go to transform panel and see what it has. Transform tool is very powerful and we can do lots of stuff, lots of editing and lots of adjustments and position wise in our photos. The first option that we see is these options. These are presets or just lens correction section, and we just check them and Lightroom will do the rest automatically for us. For example, we have auto, level, vertical. Vertical fixes the vertical points, vertical lines in our photo. So for now, we'll go to off and do that manually ourselves. In this image, we see that these two lines, we know that in real life, these two lines are parallel to each other. But in here, we see that they are not parallel to each other. So we tell that to Lightroom and Lightroom will solve this problem for us. How we do that? By using this button guided upright tool, or we can use the shortcut Shift T. And clicking it, just like the crop angle tool, we have a plus cursor and we can show the Lightroom that these lines are parallel. First line and the second line at the bottom of the building. And just like that, Lightroom will make that lines parallel to each other. So here's the before and here's the after of applying this tool. With this, we can choose two different lines and also two vertical lines. In this image, we don't have any vertical lines, vertical reference points to tell Lightroom, and I think vertical points are fine. But if we have two different vertical lines that does not look parallel to each other in the photo, we can just tell Lightroom just like this and these ones are parallel to each other. Just like that, Lightroom will make them parallel to each other. Don't worry, I will show you another example with the vertical lines. For now, let's delete the vertical guided lines and focus on the horizontal ones. In here, we have different sliders for vertical, horizontal. We can also rotate them. We can use these sliders with the combination of this tool. For example, we want this portion to be in the middle. To do that, we go to X offset and just move the photo, make it in the middle, and since we have constraint crop check, Lightroom automatically cropped that for us. So this is approximately in the middle. In some cases, when we draw the lines, Lightroom will make our photos look unnatural. So with these sliders, we have the power to adjust it, fine-tune the edits, results, and we see that this, if we go to aspect ratio, it is a little bit straightened and it looks good. It looks better than the previous. In this example, we see that the vertical lines in this photo is not parallel to each other because when we go forward, they will meet each other at some point. So to fix that, we go to this transform panel and this guided tool and tell the Lightroom that this line is vertical line, and also another reference at this side, we see this point. See that the Lightroom already done a good job of making sure that the vertical lines are parallel to each other. But if you are not satisfied with that, we can also use these sliders. For example, we can go a little more to the negative side, this, and horizontal is good. And yeah, just like that, we have made this image upright, and this looks much better than the original one. We see the difference in here, the before and after. So yeah, that was it for the transform option. If you have any questions, let me know in the Q&A section, and see you in the next lecture.